Hello students, today in this video we are starting with lesson 5 foundation of the Mughal Empire. In this lesson we will learn some the names of some rulers. Okay, names of some rulers. First we will learn about Babur. Who is that? Babur. He was a Mughal Empire in India was founded by Zahiruddin Babur. And his ancestors were Taimur. His ancestors were Taimur on his father's side and Chengiz Khan on his mother's side. India at that time, at the time of arrival of Babur, India at that time was ruled by Ibrahim Lodi, and he had angered large sections of the nobility who now conspired to overthrow him. Okay, and here we will learn about another important personality, that is Daulat Khan. Who is that? Daulat Khan, and the governor of Punjab, and he invited Babur to invade India. Daulat Khan, he invited Babur to invade India. Rana Sanga, the ruler of Mewar, wanted to put an end to the Lodi rule. Hence, he too extended help to Babur, and they felt that Babur after the raid would return with a loot, but Babur occupies parts of Punjab in 1524. Okay, they thought that after conquering Babur, he will return. But what happened? Babur occupied parts of Punjab and now wanting Babur in India. Okay, and not wanting Babur in India. Daulat Khan and Rana Sanga now turned against him. Anyway, Daulat Khan invite Babur, and Babur came and attacked India and captured many places including Punjab also. Okay, and he defeated Daulat Khan's army in Punjab and advanced towards Delhi. And here we will learn about the first battle of Panipat. Ibrahim Lodi marched from Delhi with a huge but unorganized and indisciplinary army. Okay, he met Babur's small yet well-trained army at Punjab. There were many reasons for Babur's success. Here we are going to tell you about the reason for Babur's success. He used artillery, guns and cannons, which was unknown to Ibrahim's army. That is the first reason. Babur used artillery, and Babur's army, it was a small and consisted of experienced soldiers and trained cavalry. Already Ibrahim Lodi, he thought that Babur's army, it was very small, but that people, they were very experienced. They were experienced soldiers and trained cavalry. Okay, and Babur was a much more competent general than Ibrahim Lodi. Babur, he was a much more competent general than Ibrahim Lodi. This was important reason for the success of the battle of Panipat. Okay, and Babur soon captured or occupied Delhi and Agra, and Babur defeated the combined force of the Rajput rulers in 1527 and Afghan chiefs of Bengal and Bihar in 1529. And Babur was a scholar of the Turkish and Persian language. He recorded his experience in the Tusuk-i Baburi, which is regarded as a classic. So we learned about Babur. Daulat Khan invited Babur to India, and he came to India, defeated many parts of India including Punjab also. After some days, Daulat Khan and Rana Sanga turned against of Babur, and Babur went back to Kabul and returned in 1525. He defeated Daulat Khan's army in Punjab and advanced towards Delhi. And next we will learn about Humayun. Humayun inherited Babur's large empire. Okay. However, after the Battle of Kannauj in 1540, he lost it to Sher Shah, an Afghan chief of Bihar. Humayun then wandered about for 15 years. In 1542, while he was in Amarkot, his wife Humayda Begum gave birth to Jalaluddin Akbar, who was to become the greatest Mughal ruler. And Humayun recaptured Delhi and Agra. He established Mughal rule in India, and he died in 1556. And next we will learn about another important ruler who is that Sher Shah Suri, whose real name was Farid. What was the name, real name of Sher Shah? Farid. Okay, and he was son of Hassan Suri, an Afghan Jagirdar. Jagirdar means what? Landowner. Okay, and Sher Shah became powerful in the region around Bihar and Bengal. While Humayun was busy in Gujarat, Sher Shah captured Gaur, the capital of Bengal, and thus threw an open challenge to Humayun. And Humayun then had to lay down his crown. Sher Shah became the emperor or Shah of Hindustan, and he ruled for a short period of 5 years from 1540 to 1545. His empire extended from Bengal to Indus, excluding Kashmir. And here I am going to explain about Sher Shah's administration. Sher Shah's administration. Sher Shah put in place a sound system of administration, and Sher Shah directly controlled the administration. Sher Shah, he directly controlled the administration and went to the frequent tours of inspection. He went frequent tours for inspection, and Sher Shah, he divided his province into sarkars. That means districts and districts. These were placed under three main officers: office of charge of finance, law and order, and army. The officer who collected tax and the Qazi or the chief judge. The sarkar were divided into paraganas, which were further divided into villages. These villages were under officers who were held responsible for any crime or default in payment of taxes. Okay, and here we can see that patta and kabuliyat. Okay, what is that? Land was carefully measured and its yield was assessed. The state's share was fixed at 1/3 of the produce. The peasants could pay in cash or kind. If they are not able to pay in cash, they can give kind also, produce also. As proof of the assessment, each peasant was given a document called patta. The dues of the state from the peasant were written in a document called kabuliyat. Patta and kabuliyat. Okay, and next we can see that sarais. What is sarais? For the promotion of the trade, Sher Shah built an excellent network of roads which were provided with rest houses or sarais. These rest houses are called sarais. Okay, and next we can see that rupiah. Sher Shah introduced a new silver coin that is called rupiah, which still remains the unit of Indian currency. And what is military administration? Sher Shah maintained a large standing army comprising cavalry, infantry, and elephants. And he continued Alauddin Khilji system of branding of force and maintenance of records. And Sher Shah, he built his own tomb at Sasram, and he died in gunpowder explosion in 1545. Okay, and in this video we learned about Babur, Humayun, Sher Shah, and we discussed about Sher Shah's administration. Then land revenue, two types of things we learned: patta and kabuliyat. Trade and commerce, we discussed about trade and commerce. For the promotion of trade, Sher Shah built an excellent network of roads and which were provided with rest houses. These rest houses are called sarais. And next we learned about introduction of rupiah. Sher Shah introduced a new silver coin called the rupiah and still remains the unit of Indian currency. And we learned about the military administration. Sher Shah, he built his own tomb in Sasaram and he died in a gunpowder explosion in 1545. Okay, next video we will continue with Akbar. Okay, and here I am including the question answers of last lesson. All of you please see and write the question answers in your notebook.